Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another tutorial on how to do the new extreme mode for this month of August. This time around, we're fighting San Diego, and the boss fight is much more different than the last 3 challenge modes that we have had. The last 3 challenge modes follows the usual Azur formula, where you want to hit the largest amount of numbers as possible, as many times as possible. This fight is much different because San Diego is so unbelievably fast, you're gonna miss. Aircraft carriers are near useless during this fight. I've tried multiple different fleets that incorporate freezing and the Sakura Empire torpedoes that home in, and it just doesn't really work out that well. I have found one aircraft carrier fleet that works kind of, but out of the 5 times that I tested that fleet, I only won once, and I think it was because of a fluke. Anyways, this is a build that I actually found online from a YouTuber named VoteK. I'll link the video that I found in the description. They don't talk or anything, but I wanted to go over why exactly this fleet is so good versus this boss fight. Now, instead of, like I said before, the normal Azur formula, where you want to hit as large as possible, as many times as possible, this time you just want to hit as many times as possible. You're going to miss most of your shots, but the quantity of rounds will make up for the quality of them. We have 3 support ships in the front. We have no main tanks. There's a very high chance of one of these 3 ships sinking, but that's fine because there aren't any stars. It's just defeat all enemies and there's 1 enemy, so it's completely fine. We're using Ulrich back here. I want to see if I can't do that. There we go. Hunton. We have Hunton here, and this is the gear that I am using. It's the 406mm. You're gonna want to be using heavy high explosive over armor piercing, because if we go over here and we check out Sandy, who's right here, she has light armor. So high explosive rounds are gonna do a lot more damage, and that's kind of what we want. Next, we have the new Bismarck. Bismarck is, I think it's Zwei, and she is actually going to be our carry, per usual. Every fleet has a singular carry. The reason why we want to use her is because she has this zone that draws enemies into it, making it so that we're able to do more damage. Now, usually I have a different gun installed on her. I have this one, but you're gonna want to go with something that shoots fast and does HE damage. I also have a high fire control instead of the usual super heavy shell, because once again, we want to shoot as quickly as possible. And then our last main fleet is, of course, a Vanguard. Vanguard is here as a support / damage dealer. She makes it so that all battleships do more damage. She makes it so that everybody reloads quicker. It's just herself, it looks like. I never really know what she does. Yeah. But she's just gonna help a lot with just a little bit of extra damage, which that's kind of what we're going for. These 2 right here are going to be our main damage dealers, and the rest are all just supporting them. Now, let's go on over to our Vanguard. Our first Vanguard is Kashino, because she has, I'm sorry if I butchered that, I am really bad at pronunciation. She has these 40 cm Type 95 naval gun parts, which makes it so that our main fleet and our combat cruisers, actually, I don't know what CB stands for, but they get an increase in firepower by 10%. She's also fairly tanky. She has a couple of cool niches, like makes it so that our main fleet takes less damage. She's just all around a decent support for this very strange boss fight. Helena, of course, you don't really have to do anything too special with Helena. Just try and make her survive as long as possible and make sure she has that radar scan on her. And yeah, she's kind of good no matter what situation, and she's going to help quite a bit with our damage per second. And then last but not least, we have, of course, Polymouth, who is, I guess, a better version of Helena or something like that. She does damage and she supports, I don't know, but she is also very good. She has this ability right here that makes it so that whenever enemies are shrouded, they take 10% more damage. She also restores health, and she's just all around a very good ship, very good support ship. So that's the fleet. I'm also using some submarines. I highly recommend using just whatever you have. If you have Fortune, please use Fortune because she is absolutely amazing and stays on the battlefield for almost an entire minute, which is incredible because she does not have oxygen. She is an overship, actually. One thing that I forgot to mention about this fleet is that they are actually capable of defeating this boss fight relatively easy on full auto mode, which is very cool. Once you have the setup actually down, then this boss fight really isn't all that difficult. If there was one ship in this fleet that I highly recommend you using, it's gonna be Bismarck. Her pool that sucks in enemies just helps so much, and if you're able to get that pool timed at the appropriate time, then you're able to almost negate all of her speed, which is the most annoying part about this fight. So I'm going to hit Sortie now, and I will see you at the end of the fight. Okay, and there we have it. Clear in just under 8 minutes. I'll show you guys the damage outputs for everybody. Of course, Bismarck is going to be doing the most amount of damage, Aurochs second, and Polymorph in third. Here is the submarines. Not really a whole lot, but every single little bit helps. All in all, I think that this is definitely the most challenging challenge mode that we've had this batch. And I hope that this helped at least one of you. Good luck!